Hey everyone, Gigi Rivera here from Las Vegas. Sorry this is taking me so long to get this off the ground. I just was trying to be like everyone else and find a backdrop that worked and a steady backdrop to continue recording with. And I realized after thinking about it, I'm not like everybody else. So why am I trying to be like everyone else? So I decided to have my backdrops wherever I am. So wherever I go, wherever I travel, all around the world, all across the country, here in Las Vegas, those are going to be my backdrops, because the whole purpose of these videos and of these vlogs is to be visual, be out there, awareness, education, and visibility. That's the whole purpose of these videos. So here we are, outside and out and about. And before I forget, Merry 7th day of Christmas and Happy New Year. So hopefully you guys had a wonderful 2022. Welcome into 2023. So it starts off again my story of the journey that I've gone through and that I'm going through and how I cope with things. So hopefully it could help you guys out there as well, seeing that, you know, this isn't something different. It's not a fad, it's not a craze, it's not a trend. You know, it's who you are, and you've got to accept who you are and be open and honest with yourself above all things. So before I continue any further, please like, subscribe, and share along with people who think this might help, or friends and family. Just, you know, getting the word out there and the visibility out there for everyone. So back on track. Again, I'm Gigi Rivera here in Las Vegas, and the purpose for all this is awareness, education, and visibility. So today I'm out here at Hualapai Canyon. So it's a little trail where you can hike and walk around. I'll show a little bit of B-roll of that for you guys, of the trail here out in Las Vegas in the northwest end. But my story a little bit, I'm not going to go too far or too deep into details, just because that would be extremely long and I'd have nothing to talk about in the other videos. So just going to keep it as brief as possible with this first video, just getting out there for everybody to see and just give you a piece into my life and where I've gone, how things have changed, and where I've been. So yeah, it's not anything crazy new trend type of thing. I've been feeling out of place and out of sorts and out of body since I was 6-7 years old. Just grew up in a small town where it's a lot of different things going on, but it was very just your everyday kind of town out in California. Very average, very typical, very Christian. The high school I went to, we had a Mormon church right across the street, so very conservative community. My first introduction to a man transitioning to a woman was my freshman year of high school. There was a senior who had already completed her transition because her dad was a surgeon, and just hearing all the stories, you know, the people, the kids in the community, how much they made fun of her and picked on her and gave her a hard time. And I never met them or got to meet her. Like, I knew of her and I'd seen her, and you know, she was beautiful. Like, to me, she was a woman going through adolescence in high school. You know, so she was a senior, turning 18, graduating high school, moving on with her life. But I was still fairly not aware or fully understanding what it was or the process or anything like that. You know, not completely getting the grasp of it. But you know, as myself, I still felt out of place and out of sorts. But moving forward, so we're not getting too far into details on the past, my journey started last year, roughly around September, October of 2021. So like 2 years ago now, right? So it's 23. Hey, welcome to 2023. This was in 2021, September, October. At that time, I was going through a breakup. I was married for 14 years. We had 4 wonderful, amazing little people. They're just great, and like I love them dearly. Like I do everything for them. And at that time, I did everything for my family and for my ex, and I just was done with the cheating, the manipulations, the dishonesty, and the manipulation. Like I was just completely done with it all. Like I realized the entire marriage was manipulations and toxic, abusive, narcissistic relationship boundaries, and having no boundaries for myself, and allowing her and her family to walk all over me and change my own personal values, my own changing of who I am, just to fit into their Christian little circle. And like just their hate, which is sad because it shouldn't be hate, it should just be misunderstanding, but their hate towards the LGBTQ community, and they're biased towards gender freedom, and being able to express yourself for who you are was just ridiculously abusive, not safe. What really wasn't. It's not what the human, who we should be, and who people should be representing as a whole. So growing up, I've always been a voice with the LGBTQ community. Grew up in West Hollywood area, going to a bunch of different bars and clubs out there. I went to the first gay bar or gay club, nightclub in the San Bernardino Inland Empire. Growing up, I went to the very first one that was out there, and it was a lot of fun. Went to the first one that was opened up in my hometown called Oasis, and that was one of my favorite little go-to spots to just go and hang out and have a good time, dance, and just be free and being able to be myself. And it was really hurtful that her family and her family's boyfriends and husbands would constantly be like, why are you with him? He's gay, like he's not into you, like what are you trying to do, yada yada yada. They're already labeling me and putting me in a box, trying to say that I'm gay, and like I've never identified as gay, and I still don't necessarily identify as gay, but I do openly identify as pan and bi now, understanding the terms more clearly, which we'll go over terms in future videos to help you guys out as well, although there are already thousands of videos out there going over terms. But hey, if you want to hear me talk and go over it, I'll go over those for you guys. But yes, so it was already those little things in the beginning, and then shortly after we were married, not even a full month into the marriage, she automatically starts an affair with somebody, and the church tells her not to tell me about it, and so she doesn't even tell me about it for 2 years, and she had a full-on affair for a month. And I thought, of course deep down I felt something was off, and it started causing problems with our home life, because she's standoffish and cold and doesn't want to help around the house or do any of the chores. And then she forces me to get her pregnant so I don't leave her. And so it's saying all these evil, manipulative things that are so toxic, which should be red flags for anyone to not be in a relationship with somebody. And so it just piled on, and after 14 years of marriage, I was like, why am I still dealing with this stuff? I made some new friends, I read a couple books about boundaries, and was reading self-help books and growth things, and I finally realized that my life wasn't mine, it wasn't who I am or who I want to be, and it wasn't safe for me mentally and for everything else. So I told her to leave, and taking care of the kids, because she never wanted kids. She didn't want to take care of the kids, so I told her, I've got this, you may leave. I had my mom come out to help me with the kids, and the next day in October, she comes over to spend time with the kids. She's like, I want to go take them to 7-Eleven, get some Slurpees. I'm like, awesome, you do that, I'm gonna run over to work, and I'll be right back in 2 hours, and we'll see you guys when you get back. So she takes the kids to 7-Eleven, which is 2 blocks down the street, to get Slurpees, and I go over to work, which I taught aerobics. So I went to go teach an aerobics class because I'm in fitness and nutrition, and I've been doing that for over 20 years. I'm on year 23. 2023 will hit year 24 for me. But besides all that, so I started looking deeper into myself and who I am and what I've been doing, and realizing that I'm not who I want to be, or I felt completely out of body, out of place. And the whole time I felt like out of place and lying to myself and not being true to myself. So I finally looked inward and started meditating, and like most people do in today's society, they start off with a non-binary term. Like, they start breaking down the gender norms and being like, this is ridiculous. But for me, I've always felt that way. I've always did not understand this gender binary thing. So always growing up, I did not dress like your typical boy. I didn't do the baggy clothes. I didn't do the gangster thug outfits. I didn't do the urban look. I was very conservative in my look, in my style, and I always wore makeup to look nicer and just to be presentable, clean cut hair, and always being a presentable looking person, talking eloquently, and just being respectable and a responsible kind of person. But then on the other side too, I really enjoyed the more feminine clothes, like the colors and the vibrance of them was a lot more fun for me. So I always enjoyed buying women's shirts or tops, and women's pants always fit better. They just hugged the hips better and felt nicer, and of course form-fitting and felt more snug. But now I was able to step more freely into that and understand and learn things more. So through meditation and just focusing on myself, I found who I am, and I've been extremely happier. This whole year has been amazing. Lots of true, real friends. Life has been positive and happy. But I'll go more details onto my journey and my transitioning. For me, the term transgender is offensive. Because this is who I am. I'm not transitioning really in any way, shape, or form. Yes, my body is going to go through transitions and changes, but that term I feel is outdated and antiquated, and there are other women and men out there who also feel this term is antiquated and offensive. So the best way to go around life is, when you meet people, is just to ask them what their pronouns are. Be open and upfront about it. Be kind and polite, and just be generous and polite. So when you meet new people, you're like, hi, oh my gosh, you're so this, you're so that, or it's nice to meet you. Just to be sure we don't step on any toes, what pronouns do you prefer? It's very simple. Simple question, what pronouns do you prefer? And they'll tell you, oh, I'm straight up him. I'm a dog. You just call me bro. Or they'll just be like, oh, I prefer they, them. I prefer it. It is perfectly okay. It is not offensive to call someone it. It is just an item. It's a thing. It's there. So now it's a person. It's okay. And of course, they, them, very typical. And of course, there's a bunch of other terms that are popping out there for pronouns that are not the atypical binary pronouns. For myself, you guys already know, they, them is perfectly fine. I don't get offended very easily. She and her also fits extremely well and makes me so happy. So if you stick with those pronouns, of course, you'll see a big smile on my face. So she, her, they, them is okay. He, him, I do get those still, and it hurts my heart, but I will not be offended. It is improper pronouncing because of how I'm presenting. So you should always, go with what the presentation is first if you don't remember to ask what the pronouns are. But I don't really get offended. it rolls off me fairly easily. So thank you guys. I know this has been a long video of me rambling, and like I said, these are the videos that I am going to open up to you so you guys can understand my world, and hopefully it can help you guys on your journey mentally, because that's the most important thing, is the mental health. And then hopefully we can also move forward with the physical aspects and other aspects of your life, you know, presentation, physicality, how to work out and different things. So join me on the journey again, like, subscribe, and do share the video. Again, I am Gigi Rivera here in Las Vegas, the beautiful, lovely Las Vegas. Right now I am filming in late December, and it is a beautiful sunny day. So I do apologize and wish the best for all you states in the snow and getting those blizzard hits. Like, I love you guys. Be safe. God bless you. And Happy New Year's, everybody. Like, subscribe, follow. I am Gigi Rivera, and I'll see you guys next time. I gotta have my little outro. It's usually my outros with my other persona, my performance stage name, Starlight Sparkle, and it's always like, hey, Starlight Sparkle, sparking out. But I'm doing Gigi Rivera here, so I gotta figure something out for my outro. But guys, I love you so much. Thank you again for staying and listening to me vent, and we'll go a little bit more on the journey and a little bit more off topic every once in a while. We'll see you guys next time. Love you guys. Bye.